Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we are back with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links action, and as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, Cyber Angels are back. Yes, I'm finally doing this video, even after a very long time since they've been off of the ban list, but realistically, Cyber Angels are back. They have been released, more or less. As you can see, there are still limited cards on here, but we'll get into why that is in a second. But Konami said, hey, True Nade is banned. Hey, there's lots of hays there. Anyway, Hey True Nade is banned, so what we are going to do is we are going to unlimit a lot of the things that Hey True Nade was basically forcing to be limited. And one of those, they said, was Cyber Angels. More specifically, Dakini. I don't agree with this. I think this is entirely just them realizing, oh, hey, Dakini is still on the limited list for some reason. Let's take that off of the list so that instead we can, actually utilize Cyber Angels effectively and allow our players to play Cyber Angels once again. While not releasing the actual problem card, which is Machine Angel Ritual. Again, we'll get into that in a second. So, Hey True Nade banned. They said that was the reason, not actually the reason. Anyway, now moving on. Why is Machine Angel Ritual not unlimited? Well, because of this effect right here. If a light monster, specifically a light monster, not a Cyber Angel monster, just a light monster, would be destroyed by battle or card effect. While this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card instead. Why is this important? Well, Witchcrafters. Witchcrafters are light monsters, or at least Vere is, and it just adds added protection to Vere, which means if you have some sort of removal in the form of a spell or trap that destroys, all of a sudden, if Machine Angel Ritual is in the grave, it can now be protected. So, the reason this card is still limited is so that Witchcrafters, jeez and crow. Witchcrafters cannot utilize that secondary effect to protect their Vere. Also, there are other things that most likely could pop up in the 20-card format that we have that might cause an issue, so it's just better to keep it limited at this point. At least from Konami's perspective. But with that being said, Dakini being free means that we can basically play full power Cyber Angels. Why is that good? What do Cyber Angels do? Well, first of all, let's talk about Dakini, the boss monster. If this card is ritual summoned, your opponent sends a monster they control to the graveyard, their choice. Also, it inflicts piercing battle damage, or it allows all of your ritual monsters to inflict piercing battle damage. And during the end phase, you can either grab back one of your ritual monsters or a Machine Angel Ritual from your grave and add it to the hand. Really, really useful. Moving on, we have Benten. Benten, if it's tributed and sent to the graveyard, you can add a light fairy type monster from your deck to your hand. This card is insane, and in fact, it's limited to 1 in the TCG. Why? Because it doesn't have a hard once per turn, meaning you can activate this effect as many times as you want. In fact, it doesn't even have a once per turn clause. You could just activate it however many times. If you can recycle your Benten, you can just activate it again and again and again. And that's what they do in the TCG. It's great. But yeah, Benten's insane. You just consistently add a whole bunch of light fairy type monsters from your deck to your hand. Well, guess what? All of these Cyber Angels are all light fairies. Did I say something else? I may have said something else. Also, Cyber Petite Angel is a light fairy. Also, Artifact Lancia is a light fairy. Yeah, you have a way to search this card. It's great. Moving on, we have Idaten. Idaten, when it is ritual summoned, you add a ritual spell from deck to hand. Also, if it's tributed, all ritual monsters you currently control gain 1,000 attack and defense. Really useful. It allows you to become really, really big with Dakini. It also just allows Idaten to have a 3,000 defense booty. So if you want to just sit on an Idaten after being boosted by an Idaten, it's normally pretty protected. Then we have, obviously, Artifact Lancia, We have Sonic Bird to search out ritual spells, and then this guy in particular, Jin, Demolisher of Rituals. What does this card do? The only thing you need to know is this one. Ritual if a player ritual summons using this card, sorry, words are hard, that ritual summoned monster cannot be targeted by card effects of the other player. So, basically, can't be targeted with whatever it is that you summon. So, we're only playing 2 of this, but with 2, you can either summon a Ben 10 or an Idaten, or, more importantly, if you have something like Machine Angel Ritual, you can go over the limit and use Jin as well for that added protection. And if you have Lancia and Jin, you can go into Dakini, because that is 8. So, there you go. He's really useful, super good, and kind of wins you a lot of games because they'll have some sort of targeted spell or trap removal, or just removal in general that targets, and you will be protected. And then on top of that, if they have something like Lightning Vortex that isn't targeted, you have Machine Angel Ritual to protect you. So, there's that. Then we have Cyber Petite Angel, which basically allows you to get to any of these Cyber Angel cards or Machine Angel Ritual. There you go. Then obviously, triple Machine Angel Absolute Ritual, which requires you to have the exact number, but it does allow you to utilize the Grave. So, you have to have the exact level number, but you can utilize the Grave as well. Pretty useful. And then we have Machine Angel Ritual, which is your main ritual summoning spell card. There you go. Pretty simple in terms of the actual main deck lineup. And then for the extra deck, it's all just a bunch of whatever that you will never actually summon. I summoned the Force Focus once, and it was a mistake. So don't do that. Anyway, as for the skill, we have Master of Rites 2. It adds a Ritual Cage to the field, turn 1. What does this do? It means that you take no battle damage from attacks involving ritual monsters you control, and ritual monsters you control cannot be destroyed by targeted by or destroyed by monster effects, which is really useful because it's added targeting protection. And you don't really need any other skill. There's nothing else that's really going to be too useful. So the added protection is really nice. Now let's hop into some replays. Alright guys, and here we are up against Yuma and Astral. We do get to go first, which means we get to set up our board uninhibited. However, our setup board isn't going to be, or our going first board isn't ever going to be something exceptional. But here we go, we were able to get our ritual spell and our ritual summoned monster onto the field pretty effectively. Then we go for the Cyber Petite Angel here with the Ben 10 for the follow-up play. And then obviously during the end phase, we are going to use the Dakini effect to grab back this Ben 10. Now we have a targeted protected Dakini on the field as well, because we have Jin that was used to ritual summon it, which means that it has that targeting protection. So let's see what this Gagaga player does. Do you think they're gonna read and realize that they can't actually target anything? No. The answer to that is no. They activate their Gagaga Bolt, then they go into the Exa Beetle, and then they go into Rhino Bus, and then in fact they were going to use that effect to destroy our Dakini, except Machine Angel Ritual protects us. Yeah, it's actually pretty good, especially when Rhino Bus is, for some reason, a really good card. Anyway, we ended up drawing into our Machine Angel Ritual, which was the only other ritual spell card that we could have searched with Cyber Petite Angel. So we end up going for the Idaten here, and this is the main combo that you are going to see in basically all Cyber Angel combos, is the summon the Idaten, sacrificing the Ben 10. Ben 10 effect is going to trigger, the Idaten effect is going to trigger, and you're going to get your search for a monster and a spell or trap. Now, if you don't already have the levels for a level 8 ritual summon, what you can do is with Ben 10, you can search the Cyber Petite Angel, then you can normal summon the Cyber Petite Angel in order to search out the Dakini, and then you have the levels necessary. So you could also do something like that. However, here we just add the Dakini, and then we can just go right into Dakini here, tributing this Idaten on the field. Dakini is going to force them to send the Rhino Bust to the grave, and then we are able to swing in for well over lethal there. Bada bing, bada boom, that is game. And here we are once again up against... Wait, hold on. No. This is a different person. Don't worry. It's Onomats once again. Onomats are apparently tier 0, and I don't agree. But that's for different reasons. I do think that Onomat is the definitive best deck, and here is one of the reasons why. Sister into Bolt, that can be basically done every time, is really, really strong. And then they can go into this guy, Rhino's Bus, or however the frick you're supposed to say it. The reason this card is good is because literally it just has the once per turn during either player's turn you can detach a magazine material from this card, destroy a face-up monster your opponent controls with the highest defense. That's it. It's just added destruction during the opponent's turn. That's a really weak effect, except for it's not in Duel Links in particular. It's very conditional. It's really just kind of meh because it's, you know, highest defense instead of a target or even just like a choice of your own. But it ends up not mattering. Here, we actually ended up drawing a really good hand. We had the Cyber Petite Angel, we had the Idaten. We were able to draw or search either the Ben 10. We searched something. Yeah, we searched the Ben 10. And then we also had the Machine Angel Ritual, while still having all of the cards necessary for a level 8 Ritual Summon. Which means, even though he has his Rhino Bus, and he's able to destroy our Idaten, it doesn't matter. We are going to go into the Dakini here. We are going to search the Machine Angel Ritual. We are going to utilize the Demolisher, or Jin Demolisher of Rituals, as well as our Artifact Lancia that we were able to grab, and we are going to swing in for 3,000 damage even. We are going to then, during the end phase, grab up ourselves the Idaten, because it doesn't really matter which one we grab up. And we want ourselves to have the Machine Angel Ritual in grave, so that if they do end up attacking into us or just destroying our Dakini, we are able to protect it. He goes into Steel Swarm Roach and draws a card here, but I don't know why he goes for Steel Swarm Roach, seeing as how we have the Dakini already on field. But I guess it does slow us down. We are just going to attack in, except he makes the terrible, terrible mistake of activating Book of Moon when he thinks that we can be flipped down. Obviously, he didn't read our cards, and that's understandable, because guess what? This card activates in the grave, technically. It actually doesn't activate, but what it does do is it has an effect. Well, it's not really on the field, so no one really reads it. And it's understandable, but yes, you do need to read cards that are in the graveyard, and if they especially pop up on the screen and give you a little signal that, hey, this card's important. Guess what? I can't be targeted. So when he activates Book of Moon, he activates it during the damage step, which means that during the damage step, I'm already committed to the attack. I can't redeclare or anything like that, which means no matter what happens here, this attack is going through, unless he had something else that could stop us that was non-targeting in some way, or, you know, just like a negate attack or something along those lines, right? But he ends up not, and he ends up losing his Steel Swarm Roach and his life. Had he just not activated Book of Moon, his Steel Swarm Roach would have been gone, but he would have survived with 200 life points. In this case, I actually end up dealing the piercing 2,700, and he ends up dying. So there you go, Onomat players. Tier 0 super threat, right? And here we are, up against Seto Kaiba. I feel like I've said "and here we are" on every single one of these replays recently. Anyway, this time we do end up going second, and of course, since it is Seto Kaiba, we know that it's either going to be Ultimate Dragons, or... hold on, pause. It's Ultimate Dragons, but he's only got 7 cards in his extra deck. Kinda sad. But what I will say is that, obviously, it's going to be either... Ultimate Dragons, or it's going to be the alternative evolution with Seto Kaiba. But he ends up going for his Ancient Rules straight into his Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, what's very interesting is, first of all, he had Forbidden Chalice. He negated our effect, and we really couldn't do anything. There was literally nothing we could do at that point. So we just have to hope that he doesn't kill us. However, on the follow-up turn, we do have another Cyber Petite Angel, which would allow us to go into anything, right? We would have the full combo with the Ben 10, Idaten, and a ritual spell that we could then get the party started. However, what I was going to say is that he wasn't able to banish our ritual cage, which was pretty nice. So, there you go. However, he's going to go into his Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon for some reason and then attack in. He's going to then go for his Dragon Spirit of White, and we are going to Lancia to keep the Ritual Cage on the field. Why? Because I kind of like it. It's good. It's not too necessary for us, but hey, we'll take it anyway. We ended up drawing into the Dakini, which is really nice because now we don't have to end up searching it. But there isn't really a good search anyway, so I think we just end up searching another... Oh, no, we get negated. I forgot. So, here's something that's sad. In the TCG, you would actually be able to chain it so that the Ben 10 goes first, or is chain link 1, where the Idaten is, and Idaten would go second, and would be where the Ben 10 is, so that the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon wouldn't be able to negate the Ben 10. But because of the fact that it says... when you can, know this, when you can, means that basically if I were to have activated this in the reverse way, then it wouldn't have been negated, and we would have had the Ben 10 to activate, which would have been great. However, because of the fact that Duel Links chain links for you, you do not get the option to chain the way that you would like to. It means that Ben 10 does have to go second, and technically it goes first, but it's the second chain, which basically just means that in this weird instance, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon can negate, even though you could, in the TCG, prevent that from happening. Doesn't really matter because we already had the Dakini in hand, and we are going to tribute our field away with this Machine Angel Ritual in order to go into Dakini. Dakini is going to activate, then Idaten is going to activate, and then he's going to chain the Void Trap Hole, except it doesn't matter because we are going to just send away the Machine Angel Ritual. However, that does prevent our Dakini from ever activating its effect. Ever. It's just, its effect is negated. However, of course, he does go into his Azurized Silver Dragon, and we just attack right over it because we're at 3,700. We're a big boy, or big girl, big Cyber Angel. Anyway, he goes into his Vermilion Dragon mech, and he goes to pop our card, except he can't, because Ritual Cage. So, keeping that Ritual Cage on the field was very, very useful. Obviously, we're just going to attack in at this point, and then he does the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen a Blue Eyes player do. He summons Sage in attack position, knowing that he has nothing that he can do with this Sage afterwards. We know the other card in hand is a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which means he doesn't have another Sage in hand, and he just searched the White Stone of the Ancients. He has literally killed himself here. Blue Eyes players, why? Why are you the way that you are? And here he is, the boy, the man, Yami Yuugi. We get to go second again, which means that we actually get to have a fairly competent combo because, you know, Dakini actually works. Except we bricked. We drew 4 cards that don't do anything for us. This is the major problem with rituals, just in general. Anything to do with ritual summoning. Because you have to have 2 cards at the very least. Actually, at the very least, you have to have 3. 3 cards. The ritual spell, the tribute fodder, and the ritual monster itself. Here, we've got 2 of those cards. The ritual combo, or the ritual tribute summon, or tribute, and the ritual monster itself. By the way, Gaia's doing its thing. Don't worry about that. It's just Gaia. However, We get really lucky and drawn to one of... Actually, we had 7 instances that we could have drawn in the 16-card deck to get a ritual spell. We have the 2 Petite Angels, we've got the 3 Machine Angel Absolute Ritual, we got the 2 Machine Angel Rituals, and then we've got the Sonic Bird. I lied, it's 8. I just can't do math. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We go into Idaten with Ben 10 being tributed, allowing us to search out the extra cards. We go for the Petite Angel. He's going to Treacherous Trap Hole. Guess what? That doesn't actually matter. We're going to go search the Ben 10. Guess what? That's not once per turn. So we're going to summon up that second Idaten that we have in our hand. We're going to Ben 10 search the Dakini. We are going to search the Machine Angel Ritual. We are going to activate Machine Angel Ritual. We are going to shuffle back the... we're going to shuffle back the Cyber Petite Angel by tribute the Idaten that we had in our hand to boost up. Now, here he's going to activate his effect to pop the card on the field. However, guess what? It doesn't matter because the only card on the field that he can pop is the Ritual Cage. We are protected. Ritual Cage is insane. We're going to give him his oh wait, just kidding, it's not Destiny Draw. Well, it doesn't end up mattering because he is able to search his cards and then realize that he can't do anything. Even if he was able to destroy our cards, doesn't matter because we have Machine Angel Ritual in the grave to protect ourselves. So yeah, it's just game over. So, what are my thoughts on this deck? So this is a bit different. Normally, I feel like people would be playing the Izana, but this deck doesn't, and instead we're playing Jin as well as Artifact Lancia. I think that these are both really good additions. Jin is just a really good ritual support card, allowing you to be protected from targeting effects is really nice. And Lancia being able to be searched for that level 5 to pair with the Jin, as well as more specifically just having that access to something where you can prevent your cards from being banished, or just prevent them from banishing cards in general, is also really nice. However, with that being said, it's a ritual summon deck. It's not going to be terribly consistent, and you'll see it if you play it. It doesn't open the best hand all the time, right? Sometimes you'll have just a Cyber Petite Angel and then a bunch of ritual summon or ritual cards, and it's like, great. That doesn't matter. Either you're going to need to have, you know, another ritual monster, or you're going to need to have another ritual spell, right? And one Cyber Petite Angel isn't enough, right? You got to have the tribute fodder while also having the ritual spell. So it's just so many cards that you need, and that's the biggest downfall. Overall, though, the combo itself is still really powerful in Duel Links. Being able to non-target send a card to the grave is really powerful, especially when there's only 3 monster card slots, and most of the time it's just like 1 or 2 big monsters on the field. Normally getting rid of one is enough, right? Plus, you can boost up to 3,700 while being protected from targeting. It's really powerful. The biggest issue is just being able to get there. So all in all, it's another inconsistent deck, but it's still incredibly fun. And hey, maybe we'll get a skill that allows it to be consistent, and then all of a sudden it will become a tier 0 super threat. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy. If you did, a like is very much appreciated. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links action, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye.